Hey everyone, so it's been quite a while since I've done a daily thoughts with Kem, but I am back and I do want to talk about something really important. And it's about that sacred journey from silence to divine unity, that emotional realization of the spiritual path. Like there comes a moment in every spiritual seeker's journey when the veil between the mundane and the sacred begins to thin. And it's not a dramatic tearing, but rather a gentle dissolution, like morning mist giving way to the warmth of dawn. This is the moment when we begin to understand that our spiritual gifts and our mediumship, our intuition, our connection to the divine are not separate abilities to be collected like trophies, but threads in the oneness with the Almighty. And there is this illusion of shortcuts and how often we search for the back door to enlightenment, don't we? We hunger for the quick path, the secret technique, the mystical shortcut that will bypass the sometimes uncomfortable work of genuine spiritual development. Yet, this very desire reveals our misunderstanding of the journey itself. The path is not a destination to be reached, but a transformation to be lived. And when we attempt to rush through the process, we only rob ourselves of the profound lessons that exist in the space between those sacred moments of uncertainty, of struggle, of gradual awakening that shape us into vessels worthy of divine connection. Each phase of our spiritual evolution serves a purpose. Like the slow formation of a pearl within an oyster's shell, the pressure, the time, the patient endurance, these are not obstacles to overcome, but essential elements of the creation process. It's like the dance of becoming. So, to work with God, we must learn to dance with the divine, that divine rhythm that flows through all existence. This doesn't demand perfection from us, for who among us could claim such a state? Rather, it asks for our spiritual readiness, our willingness to be transformed by the sacred process itself. We must become spiritual beings not through the accumulation of gifts, but through the gradual alignment of our entire being with the divine will. Think of it this way: a skilled musician doesn't simply play notes correctly, they become one with the music itself. And similar, as we develop spiritually, our abilities begin to flow naturally from our being rather than being forced through our efforts. The mind remains really aware, yes, but it observes this flow with a gentle recognition rather than anxious control. And that is where the sacred silence really helps. It is the first stage of this transformation, and it begins in silence, not the empty silence of absence, but the pregnant silence of potential. This is where we learn to quiet the constant chatter of our everyday consciousness and attune ourselves with subtler frequencies of existence. And in this silence, we discover that we are not alone, that we are surrounded by the gentle presence of the divine, waiting patiently for us to notice. The silence is not about emptying the mind, but about creating space within it, like clearing a cluttered room to make space for something really good. So we create inner spaciousness inside of us because that allows divine presence to enter and dwell within us. And this process cannot be rushed, for silence has its own wisdom and its own timing, because you will go from silence to awareness. As we deepen in our practice of sacred silence, something remarkable begins to happen, and we will start to notice things we never perceived before. You'll start to become aware of subtle energies, gentle guidance, the whispered wisdom of the universe itself. This is awareness awakening us, like a flower slowly opening to receive the morning sun. The awareness is different from our ordinary consciousness. It's softer, more receptive, more deeply connected to the web of existence that connects all things. We begin to sense that we are not separate beings struggling alone in the world, but integral parts of a vast, loving intelligence that surrounds and supports us at every moment. It's the presence within presence. From this expanded awareness emerges something even more profound. and it's the recognition of presence itself. This is not just our own presence, but the presence of the divine within and around us. We begin to feel held, supported, known in the deepest sense. This is where the real magic happens, where our spiritual gifts transform from personal abilities into sacred channels for divine love and wisdom. In this state of presence, we become acutely sensitive to the sounds of life itself, not just the physical sounds around us, but the deeper harmonies that run through all of existence. And we hear the voices of the earth, the whispered conversations between souls, the gentle guidance of spirit guides and higher intelligences. These sounds are not foreign to us. They are the natural language of our deeper being, remembered rather than learned. It just reminds me of the sound of divine life. Listen closely and you will hear it. The sound that underlies all other sounds, the frequency of divine itself, pulsing through everything that exists. This is not a sound that can be heard with the ears alone, but with the entire being. It's the sound of creation itself, the ongoing song of the universe as it unfolds in each moment. When we attune ourselves to this sound, we discover that we are not separate from it, but part of it. Our voice joins the cosmic chorus and our heartbeat synchronizes with the universal rhythm. Our very existence becomes an expression of divine love, made manifest in form. It's the integration of being. And as we move through these stages, silence, awareness, presence, we begin to understand that they are not separate phases to be completed and left behind, but dimensions of being that interpenetrate and support each other. The silence deepens our awareness, and the awareness opens us to presence, and presence returns us to an even deeper silence rich within divine communion. This is when our spiritual gifts truly mature. They no longer feel like abilities we possess, but like natural expressions of our deeper nature. Our mediumship becomes a form of divine service, our intuition a way of receiving and sharing divine wisdom, and our healing abilities a channel for divine love to flow into the world. And with that comes the sacred responsibility. With this recognition comes a profound responsibility. We are not just developing our gifts for personal satisfaction or even for helping others in the conventional sense. We are being invited to become conscious participants in the divine plan, co-creators with the Almighty in the ongoing work of healing and transformation in our world. This responsibility is not a burden, but a privilege. The privilege of being chosen to serve as a bridge between the seen and unseen worlds, between the human and the divine. Every time we offer our gifts in service, we are participating in the sacred work of bringing heaven to earth, of making the invisible visible, of translating divine love into forms that can be received and understood by those who need it most. The eternal journey. The beautiful truth is that this journey never truly ends. Each time we think we have reached a new level of understanding, new depths will always reveal themselves. And each time we feel we have mastered a spiritual skill, we soon discover new layers and possibility that this is not a sign of failure, but of the infinite nature of divine love and wisdom. We are not moving toward a final destination, but into an ever deepening relationship with the divine. And each day offers new opportunities to go deeper, to open more fully, to serve more completely. The path itself becomes our teacher, our companion, our home. So as you continue on your own spiritual journey, remember that you are not alone and you are surrounded by the love and support of the divine, guided by wisdom that knows your path better than you do yourself. Trust the process, embrace the in-between moments, and allow yourself to be transformed by the sacred work of becoming who you truly are. Your spiritual gifts are not just abilities to be developed, but expressions of your divine nature waiting to be revealed. So let them unfold in their own time, in their own way, always in service to the greater good and always in harmony with the divine will. The earth needs your voice, your presence, your unique expression of divine love. The world is waiting for you to become fully who you are meant to be. So trust the journey and embrace the process and let yourself be guided by the sound of divine life itself as it calls you home to your true nature. In silence, in awareness, in presence, we find our way back to the source of all that is, discovering that we were never separate from it all. Thanks for listening today, guys, and I'll be sure to be back with a lot more daily thoughts. Sorry for being a bit slack, but this I was really called to come and say this to you all today. So, bye for now.